Hello, I'm Karla Schaffer.
And I'm Tracie Reynolds, and this is Anne Arundel County's Week in Review. Today, we will give you tips on how to stay cool, and we'll tell you about librarians making a difference in the unemployment rate. Making headlines this week. In case you didn't notice, it's really hot out there.
How hot is it, Tracie?
It's so hot that farmers are giving chickens ice to stop them from laying hard-boiled eggs.
But that's a good one, Tracie.
Right. Seriously, folks, it is dangerously hot out there. And we had our first code red days this week, which means the air quality levels are poor and the heat index tops 100 degrees or more. When a code red is issued, the county opens several cooling stations around the area at senior centers and police districts. We also provide transportation to cooling stations for senior citizens. You can access this service by calling 410-222-4286. You can also view a list of cooling locations at www.aacounty.org. And here's some trivia for you, Karla. What do you think the record high in this area was? All-time record high.
All-time record. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We have to be getting pretty close, though. Maybe.
I feel like
105, maybe.
It's close.
Okay.
It's interesting. Actually, the record is 106 degrees, so only 1 degree off. Very good. More than 81 years ago this week. And I also checked your hometown in Michigan, and that record was 105 back in 1934.
Oh, wow.
And cars didn't even have air conditioning.
That's awful.
Back then.
I don't know how people did it back then.
So, as always, we want to give you some safety tips for these heat waves. Limit outside activities to the early morning and early evening when temperatures are the lowest. Limit exercise, listen to your body, and moderate your activity accordingly. Drink plenty of fluids. When possible, stay out of direct sunlight and wear sunscreen. If air conditioning is not available, take cool baths or showers to help cool down during the hottest times of the day. Wear loose-fitting clothing, light-colored clothing. Never leave a child or pet unattended in a car. In a very short period of time, the temperature inside a vehicle can exceed 150 degrees. Children, the elderly, and those people with chronic ailments are usually the first to feel the effects of high heat and humidity. Use care in planning activities with these groups and regularly check on elderly neighbors.
Well, if you're looking for a job, you might want to check your local library. This week, County Executive John Leopold honored librarians who recently won an award from the International Association of Workforce Professionals for their service to job seekers. The library has help for all kinds of skills, whether it's finding job listings, polishing up your resume, learning interview skills, or how to write a good cover letter. The best part is that there are many ways to access these services. Online, you can go to www.aacpl.net and click on Research and Subject Guides from the pull-down menu. From there, just click on Job Help, and then you can have an online chat with an expert, or you can browse the links to all kinds of resources on the internet. You can also meet with experts one-on-one at your local library for help. Check your local branch to see exactly when the job search assistants will be there. 6 specialists were presented with executive citations from County Executive Leopold for their great work. For more information, check out the library's website or give them a call at 410-222-7000 to be connected to your local branch.
Turning to political news, last week we told you about the charter review process that happens every 10 years. The meeting schedule is now being published. After a public hearing on potential changes to the political boundaries that make up county council districts on Monday, July 25th, the Charter Revision Commission will hold 3 meetings in August. The public is welcome to attend, although public testimony will not be taken. The meetings of the commission will be held on August 2nd, August 12th, and August 22nd in the council chambers in Annapolis at 9 a.m. For more information, call 410-222-1401. The Commission will report on potential changes, including possibly a new South County-only district in September. After that, the Commission moves on to other potential changes to the Charter. The process, again, takes place every 10 years to update the rules that govern the county.
In this week's Community Spotlight, Marina Hardy talks to the court-appointed special advocate. It is a little-known program that provides a really important service. Marina?
My name's Marina Hardy, and I'm here today with some members of CASA. I've got Rebecca here, who's the executive director, and she's going to introduce the rest of the crowd.
Thank you, Marina. I'm Rebecca Tingle, and I'm the Executive Director of Anne Arundel County CASA. It's quite a mouthful, but CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. To my right is our President of the Board, Chris Buck, Tracie Kirshner, who is a case supervisor with CASA, and Curtis DiStefano, who is a CASA volunteer.
Fantastic, Rebecca, and welcome all today. Thank you so much for all you do in the community. Now, Rebecca and I have helped in the past with an event with CASA, the beautiful Casablanca event. And before we get into talking about that fantastic event, which will be happening this year as well, we'd like to talk to you some about what CASA does in the community. Can you speak to that, Rebecca?
Sure. CASA locally has been around for the last 14 years and around nationally for 34 years. Our mission is to advocate for and support children who've been abused and neglected and enter the foster care system. We ensure their right to a safe, stable, and permanent home. And we do that by training volunteers, folks from the community who have a genuine interest in helping children. You have to be 21 years of age, and we do a thorough background check to make sure that our volunteers are of the highest quality.
Fantastic, Rebecca. And Chris, can you speak a little bit as to why you initially got involved with CASA and some of the benefits that you derive and some of that you give back to the community through CASA?
Well, how did I get involved? Meeting Rebecca and knowing her through circles around the courthouse, since I'm a lawyer and I'm local. The organization was explained to me through Rebecca, and I realized the hole that we have in the system, which failed to really meet the needs of children in the situations that these kids are in. So it was an easy fit for me to make sure that I got involved in something so important and meaningful. And it's been great ever since. I've loved working with the people who run the organization, especially Rebecca and her staff, the volunteers, and every swearing in we go to. It's heartwarming, and really it's a good feeling. They all are so energized and they get so much out of it, and so it makes it really easy for me and to sit on the board and to really advocate for this program. Thanks.
Fantastic, Chris. Thank you. And Tracie, Rebecca was telling me that you started out as a volunteer for CASA and then stepped up your role and now dedicate a lot more of your time to CASA. Can you speak a little bit of what you do and what keeps you coming back to CASA and what you get out of the experience?
I was actually in the first class of CASA volunteers in 1997, and I got involved because I had heard about the program and it just sounded like a really good fit for me. I had been a legal secretary, and I love working with children, so I thought it was a good fit. I have volunteered. I continue to volunteer 14 years later. I've worked with 13 different children. And 8 or so years ago, I was asked to come on board as a staff person. So I continue to volunteer, but I also work for the program. I'm passionate about the mission. I've seen what CASA does in the lives of children, and so it keeps me sticking with the mission and being involved.
Thank you, Tracie. And Curtis, Rebecca had said that since you're a volunteer, you get a lot of hands-on experience as well working with the individual children, and I'm sure you get a lot back from that as well, as just as much, if not more, than what you give. So if you can speak to that, it would be fantastic. I'm sure the viewers at home would love to hear a little bit more of what the volunteer experience is like for a CASA volunteer.
Sure. I originally got involved, Rebecca was speaking at another community event that I was at, and I was really touched by the stories in how much of a difference the CASA volunteers make in the children's lives. And so I signed up and went through training, and about 3 or 4 months later, I was assigned a child. This child had just gotten into the foster care system. And we've had a number of changes since then. He's on his second foster home, and so that's 3 changes from a group home and 3 schools in about 2 years. So what we do is we try to keep the details of the child's life and build a relationship with them. I liken it to a big brother, big sister with a strong legal component, because we do need to advocate on their behalf in the court. So it's important that we track the details of their life, write a comprehensive report so the judge understands all the components of the child's life. And, there are sometimes needs that, that don't get addressed along the way, and that's what we do. We advocate on their behalf. And just building a friendship, with these kids. I took it as a volunteer mission in the beginning, but the minute you meet the child, you're no longer a volunteer. They're just part of your life.
Fantastic. It sounds like a great organization to be a part of. And Rebecca, can you speak a little bit more? If somebody at home is watching and would like to volunteer, would like to donate their time, can you speak to how they can do that?
Yes. Thanks, Marina. The first way to become involved with CASA is to become a CASA volunteer, much like Curtis. We do offer CASA training classes twice a year. It's a 35-hour training program, so you will learn all aspects of all of the work that we do here in the court system, working on issues of child abuse, family issues, drug and alcohol issues. We do an amazing job in training our volunteers to be prepared for their very complex role. And the role is being an advocate. It's one volunteer to one child. And they are there to follow that child throughout the whole court process to make sure that all their needs are met and that the kids don't linger in foster care and that they find a safe, stable, and permanent home. So becoming a CASA is always a need for us. We served about 112 kids this year. There's about 160 kids in care. We always need CASAs, so it's one volunteer to one child. Another way to get involved is certainly to donate money or resources or items for events that we may have. We have a website. It's aacasa.org. You can also follow us on Facebook.
Fantastic. And Rebecca, I know we've opened the show talking about the Casablanca event, which is a fantastic, beautiful event, a good chance to get out and mix and mingle with the community while supporting a great cause. When will that event be this year?
That event will be on November 5th. It's a Saturday at the Lowe's Annapolis Hotel. It's our annual gala event, and it's called An Evening in Casablanca. So please come out and have some fun and with a Moroccan-themed atmosphere. It's going to be a fantastic time.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for explaining a little bit more about the organization as well as your time today and for all you do for the citizens of Anne Arundel County day in and day out and for our children.
Thanks, Marina. Often these cases can really be a matter of life and death. These folks give children a voice.
There is more Weekend Review to come. Take a look at the community calendar for what is happening around the county. Stay with us. We will be right back.
County Executive John Leopold wants to remind all residents that an animal should never be left unattended in a vehicle during the hot summer months. Even on a mild day with the windows cracked, the temperature inside will rise quickly, causing imminent harm or death to pets. If an animal control officer sees an animal left unattended in a vehicle, a criminal citation will be written, and the owner of the vehicle must appear in court and face a potential fine of $500 and 30 days in jail. Don't put your animal in harm's way, even on a mild day. Don't leave any pets unattended in vehicles.
Welcome back. Well, this week's Police Beat features a special guest. Public Information Officer Justin Mulcahy unfortunately came down with a nasty cold, so filling in for him this week is our very own Tracie Reynolds. Tracie?
Thank you, Karla. This week's Police Beat story was so good it made the national talk show circuit. Everybody loves a stupid thief story, and this one fit the bill. It even made the Regis and Kelly show. On July 19th, 2011, at approximately 12:43 a.m., officers from the Northern District responded to Uppy's Exxon, located in the 400 block of Camp Mead Road in Linthicum, for a reported attempted carjacking. Upon arrival, officers spoke with the 21-year-old male victim, who advised that he was parked in front of the business when two male suspects attempted to steal his vehicle. One suspect brandished a handgun during the incident and pointed it at the victim. The suspects only fled the area after the victim advised that the vehicle was a stick shift. Both suspects fled toward Camp Mead Road. Numerous officers and canines searched the area for the suspects, but were unable to locate them. The first suspect is a black male in his 20s, approximately 5'8" to 5'9", 150 to 160 pounds, wearing dark pants, a long-sleeved shirt with white and black stripes, and black pantyhose covering his face. Suspect number 2 is a black male in his 20s, approximately 5'8" to 5'9", 150 to 160 pounds, wearing black pants, a black t-shirt, and a black ski mask covering his head down past the eyes. If you have information on any crimes or suspects mentioned on the show, please call, email, or text your tip to Metro Crime Stoppers Hotline. It's available 24 hours a day, toll-free at 1-866-7-LOCKUP, or text MCS plus your message to crimes, that's 274637, and visit the website at www.metrocrimestoppers.net. Phone calls are not recorded and callers remain anonymous. And you also may be eligible for a cash award for up to $2,000.
Thanks, Tracie. Well, Division Chief Michael Cox is here this week with Hot Topics. This week, the Anne Arundel County Fire Department responded to 1,472 calls for service. This included more than 1,149 emergency medical calls and 104 fire calls. This week, one person died after jumping into the water at a local community beach in the northern area of the county. In addition, county fire investigators have released the names of the deceased fire victim and the cause of the July 2nd fatal fire in the Edgewater area of the county. Chief Cox joins us with more on these incidents. Chief?
Thanks, Karla. Just after 9 p.m. on Tuesday, July 19, 2011, Anne Arundel County firefighters responded to a reported drowning in the Orchard Beach area of the county. The incident occurred at the Orchard Beach Community Beach, located at the intersection of Main Street and Beach Promenade. The first unit to arrive were informed by witnesses at the scene that a middle-aged male, who was estimated to be in his 40s, had jumped in the water off the pier at this location. However, witnesses stated that he never surfaced after entering the water. The first arriving crews began searching the immediate area around the pier. In addition, crews also conducted a surface search of the area utilizing a Maryland State Police helicopter and boats from the United States Coast Guard and the Maryland Natural Resources Police, with no avail. County Fire Department divers were used to conduct an underwater search of the area, and shortly after entering the water were able to locate the body of a deceased male who fit the description of the witnesses at the scene. In other news, the state medical examiner has positively identified the victim who died in the July 2, 2011 fatal house fire in Edgewater. The victim was identified as 56-year-old Linda D. Nolte. Ms. Nolte was a resident of the home that caught fire around 1:35 p.m. on Saturday, July 2nd, in the 1300 block of Shore Drive in the Edgewater area of Anne Arundel County. County fire investigators have also concluded their investigation into this fire and advised that the fire originated on the sofa where Ms. Nolte was seated and has been determined to be accidental in nature. The exact cause of the fire is being attributed to careless smoking. Damages from the fire were estimated to be approximately $110,000. Karla?
Thanks, Chief. County police are investigating the cause of the drowning and are awaiting autopsy results to determine the exact cause of death. In addition, the second victim, who was hospitalized as a result of the July 2nd fire, remains in the hospital.
In this week's Recreation and Parks Spotlight, Carolyn Ryan is at Kinder Farm Park talking about all of the activities available there. Carolyn?
Well, we're here at Kinder Farm Park on a beautiful summer afternoon, and I'm joined by Ranger Fisher and Ranger Chesto. Thank you very much for being on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
Kinder Farm Park, right here in the heart of Anne Arundel County, has so many wonderful things to offer for families, for individuals, for kids. Ranger Fisher, can you give us some information about what kinds of things people can find here at Kinder Park?
Sure. Kinder Farm Park is 288 acres of what I consider diversity. We have recreational features as far as biking, jogging, hiking trails, paved and unpaved. We have athletic fields for mainly our host Green Hornets. We also have Kinder Farm Park 4-H Club, which is the largest in Anne Arundel County. We have pigs, we have goats, we have chickens, we have sheep, we have cows, anything you can think of, turkeys, ducks. We also have a Kinder Farm Park Sprouts program going on right now, which is volunteer based, and they're growing different crops that were traditional crops in the state of Maryland. We also have playground, what I consider the best one in Anne Arundel County. And besides that, we have a huge disc golf course, 9 holes, which is very popular with the recreational folks here at Kinder Farm Park.
Great. Definitely sounds like a lot of diversity here at the park. And Ranger Chesto, can you tell us a little bit about some things that kids can do here at the park?
Sure. As Nolly said, we have 2 great playgrounds. We also currently, during the summer season, we have the recreation department helping us out. They house the drop-off and pickup locations for the teen camps. One of the popular camps is coming up in early August, the Wilderness Challenge Camp for teens. The teens also spend 1 day a week depending on the camp here at Kinder, because there is so much to do. We have 4 ponds where you can do catch and release fishing. You can hike and bike our trails. You can check out the educational gardens we have, or you can just have a picnic in one of our many picnic areas. So we have tons of things to do for the family.
Great. Now you guys also have a new visitor center. Can you tell me a little bit about the new visitor center?
Sure. It opened up in December, long awaited. We're very excited to have it. During the, with the Friends of Kinder Farm Park, they've been instrumental in helping us get together the Interpretive Center. They also just opened up their own chapter, the Friends of Kinder Farm Park Historical Society. It's a wordful, but they have just created the great interpretive displays that we have in there. Anything from looking at old style quilts to old milking equipment, and then of course our wonderful tobacco press. So you can really see the history, the cultural history of tobacco farming, as well as just general agricultural farming, which is what our theme is at the park.
Great. Well, thank you both for some wonderful information. If you want more information on Kinder Farm Park or any of our other parks here in Anne Arundel County, you can visit us on the web, www.aacounty.org/recparks. Thank you both again for being on the show. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Carolyn. Kinder Farm Park is really something for all of us to be proud of, and there is always so much to do.
Many people are touched by Alzheimer's in some way, whether it's a family member, a friend, or a coworker. This week, Mary Felter previews a special event to raise awareness and funding to fight this terrible disease. Mary?
Thank you, Karla. Today, I'm happy to welcome back Mary Fridley, who is the founder of Gero Resources, LLC, a registered nurse, and also a consultant with the Department of Aging and Disabilities. But I've asked Mary to come on the set today, so she'll talk about the Alzheimer's Walk that's going to be occurring later this fall. Mary's a co-chairman of the Anne Arundel County event, and I wanted her to talk about the walk and how people can participate, and a little bit about Alzheimer's. Welcome to the program, Mary.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
This is the 3rd year that the Alzheimer's Association's had the Memory Walk in Anne Arundel County?
Yeah, but it's nationwide, and it has been nationwide since 1989. It is the largest event in the nation that raises funds for Alzheimer's disease for support and research.
I understand that every chapter of Alzheimer's Association all across the country participates in this.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
And that's a lot of chapters.
It's a lot of chapters, yes. We have a lot of chapters in the country, right.
This is about 3 months away because it's not happening until October, I believe. Why are we talking about it now?
Well, we're talking about it now because we want people to get prepared, build teams, because team building is very important to us. As we build teams, we ask each team member to raise funds and walk if they can. They certainly don't have to walk, but we do want them there that day to take a walk on the B&A Trail because our event is going to be at the Severn School in Severna Park, which is right next door to the B&A Trail. So we'll do about a 2.5 to 3 mile leisurely walk. It is wheelchair and stroller friendly. It starts at, registration is at 9 o'clock, but we start the walk at 10 a.m. And we have lots of fun.
And the date for it?
The date, I'm sorry, it's October 15th. It's a Saturday.
And how many other places in the state of Maryland are the walks going to take place?
There are quite a few, and I'm going to cheat here a little bit and read them to you so I don't forget any of them. Where they're all going to be occurring in October on different weekends. We have Harford County in Bel Air, Salisbury on the Eastern Shore, Howard County in Columbia, Frederick in Western Maryland, and Baltimore County will be at Oregon Ridge Park.
Well, that's a goodly number of walks in the state of Maryland.
Yes, it is.
How much have you raised in the past here in Anne Arundel County?
Last year, we raised $85,000, and this year our goal is to raise $87,000, and I'm sure we will. My personal goal is to raise $2,000. I'm already hit $500, so I'm very excited about that.
You've got 3 more months to make the rest of it.
Yes, I do, and I will.
And who's your co-chairman?
My co-chairman is Dawn Lewis from Atria Manresa, and we've been working pretty hard on this for the last few months to get teams up and running.
If someone wants to start a team, what sort of things can they do to make a team? What do they need to do?
Well, they can, of course, ask their coworkers if they'd like to build a team together, ask their friends and neighbors, families. We have families that walk as teams. They can get online to the Alzheimer's Association and find some creative ways to raise money through sponsorships and things like that.
And is there a cost for them to participate, or other than just trying to get the donations?
No, there is no cost. We like people to register online if possible, so that we have a good head count of how many will be there, and we can be prepared because there will be food and there will be entertainment, family entertainment too.
And I guess the next thing I would want to know is, why are you doing this for Alzheimer's? What exactly, how many people are affected by Alzheimer's?
Oh, we have a lot of people affected by Alzheimer's disease, approximately 5.4 million people, I believe.
5.4? That's a lot of people.
Yeah, we have a lot, there are a lot of people in this country.
It's 5.4
in this country, yeah. When we did this, it was 5.4. And every 70 seconds, someone is diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. So as long as we've been sitting here, if we've been sitting here for 70 seconds, somebody else has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease.
That's a pretty high percentage.
Yeah, we also have this huge baby boom population, which I'm sure you're aware of, that are nearing or at retirement age, and that means they are getting older. And what we know is that the greatest risk factor for Alzheimer's disease is advanced age. So we're really working very hard to find a cure or definitely a prevention for it.
So if somebody wants to do this, you just recommend they go online to the Alzheimer's Association?
Yes, www.alz.org/Maryland. And it'll be right on top or on the side. I can't remember if it's on top or on the side.
It's on the top,
that
on the right.
It says Memory Walk.
Yes.
You can't miss it to get online there. Or they can call the Alzheimer's Association at 410-561-9099.
Well, I'm very happy that you're one of the co-chairmen this year, and I have made my pledge with your name, so we can help you raise the money. I think if you raise $2,000, you get a team banner.
I get a team banner, and if you raise $100, you get a T-shirt. So I'm going to get both.
Well, thank you very much, Mary, for coming on the program today and talking about the Alzheimer's Walk. I want to remind everyone that this is going to be October the 15th, starting at Severn School with registration at 9 o'clock. And we'll be delighted if you could sign up. Thanks for being on the program, Mary.
Thank you.
This is Mary Felter, Public Information Officer with the Anne Arundel County Department of Aging and Disabilities. We have been talking about the Alzheimer's Walk. Back to you, Karla.
Thanks, Mary. This is a great chance to get outside when the weather's much nicer than it is now, and it's also great to do for a good cause. Yes, it's so hot out.
It is very hot out. And you know what's coming, I think, does it start this week? Or next week?
What?
The big Glen Burnie Carnival.
I don't know. I think it starts the end of this week, maybe this weekend.
Okay.
I guess it is
Anyone
the end
knows?
of this week.
But I know it runs through August. It runs for, 2 or 3 weeks, and it's kind of a a tradition here in Glen Burnie, and it's actually right across from our studio, so we get to see the whole makings of the carnival
They've
being
been
put
building
together.
up the booths for a while now, and the rides will be coming soon.
And hopefully the weather will break and people will not have to go out and stand around in 115 degree or heat index of 115 degree weather.
Right. And
So
then
that
if you
should be
haven't
fun.
had enough fun at the Glen Burnie Carnival in September, you can go to the Emergency Preparedness Fair, which
That's right.
will not have rides, but some, fun demonstrations.
And almost
goodies.
located in the same place.
It is.
Yeah. So that's fun. Well, everybody will have to come out. Is that on the community calendar so people will know it's coming?
I don't know if
we'll have
it
to
up
tell
there
the
yet.
scriptwriter to put it out there. But anyway, otherwise, then how are you faring with the heat?
With the heat, how's the county doing?
No, how are you
Or
doing?
me personally?
Yeah.
Okay. It's hot out.
It's hot.
It's
I
too
hate
hot
it.
for redheads, I think.
It's too hot for me. I'm not a summer person, so I'm really, really looking forward to fall.
Yeah.
And I don't even mind winter as long as we don't get 25 feet of snow.
Right. Yeah, even my dog doesn't like this weather.
Yeah,
going
it's
out
too
there
hot.
for walks. We're both panting by the end of it, so.
Yeah, it's too hot for everyone. Do you carry water for your dog when you walk him?
I don't, but our walks haven't been that long lately. Because
Okay.
normally when we go to the park, I do, but we haven't even made it to the park in the past
it's
week.
just
It's just
too
been quick trips
unbearable.
around the neighborhood. Yeah, it's too hot out.
Well, I think it's going to get better this weekend. I think Sunday we might get chilly because I think it's going to be 93 or 94. It might be cold. Might need my mittens or something. So anyway, try to do your best. Stay hydrated and stay out of the heat. And
Stay
everyone else out
inside.
there, please stay inside. Get out of the heat if you don't need to be there. And don't drink alcohol when you're outside. You have to stay hydrated. So hopefully we won't have any more hot weather
Any
for
more
the rest of the
incidents.
summer.
Yeah.
No more. And that wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode online anytime at www.aacounty.org. Archived episodes are available at blip.tv and YouTube. And you can also subscribe to the free video podcast at iTunes. Please tune in again next week for more highlights and news from around the county, and we will see you then.